Hi, my name's Bryce. Welcome back to VHS Play, where we are playing Fatal Frame 2, The Crimson Butterfly. Well, hey, there's the title screen, that helps. And we're going to record it all on VHS. In case you're new around here, because it's a new series, hi, again, my name's Bryce, and yes, we are recording this legitimately on a VHS. I am sitting in a room with all the lights off and only the glow of my laptop, which is recording, and this old CRT hooked up to a VCR, hooked up to a PS2, and several cables in between. So, Fatal Frame 2, I have never played this. It is one I've been wanting to get to for a long time. And it's one I've been trying to save for, a Halloween type thing. Since, I started the whole, YouTube thing. Before that, it was always just like, it's a spooky game. I should save it for spooky season. It just hasn't come up yet. Yeah, before we get started, I do want to point out, ghosts are a thing that really gets to me. So, this should be fun.
We always used to promise each other that we would stay together.
Sisters have found themselves trapped in the lost village.
Mayu! Mayu!
On the day of the ceremony, the village vanished. Crimson Butterfly.
Kill me.
Heck of an attract mode, that is. I was poking around just a little bit earlier, and apparently, like, oop, not album. Yes, there we go. Gallery, that's where there were some buttons. Apparently they have like the promotional videos that were from E3 and the retailer demo version, as that says, Tokyo Game Show version. So that's neat. And I think that was just like the retailer thing. So let's turn on subtitles. I should... Here's the thing. My setup only supports mono sound. So that seems like blasphemy turning that on, but it's for a reason. Game data not found. Create new game data. Yeah, let's save. So yeah, during that that whole track mode, I did have a chance to go. Is it waiting for me to hit a button? No, it's just taking a while. Cool. Did realize that this game is just like way too quiet. So I've had to turn the sound up. Hopefully I'm not going to regret that in terms of recording. Hopefully it is loud enough now that I'll actually be able to, hear what's happening, because it turns out sound is really important in horror games. So yeah, let's dig in. Oh, not this choice. Let's... So this game does have a manual. I actually have it in my copy. I should have read it probably beforehand. Let's try normal.
Didn't we always promise each other that we would always be together? We used to play here all the time. Yeah. All of this will be gone soon. Is your leg okay? Does it hurt? It does a little bit. I'm fine. Meow? Yes? Never mind. Mayu, about that time back then. Mayu? Mayu! Where are you going? Stop! Wait! Mayu! Mayu?
So real quick, there's some real good rumble feature work for this, like during those cutscenes. Alright, let's get a mild sense for controls. Square is walk forward? Square is run forward. That's odd. Triangle is menu. Okay. Circle doesn't seem to do anything. It is really weird that there is like a run button. That's a strong camera angle. That like really upward. I mean, they've given me the option to go backwards, so now I have to, right? That's how games work. The path disappears just after the statue that looks like guardian deities. This square to run. Shoulder buttons don't seem to do much. Triangles that. Don't see anything on D-pads.
Mayu?
Oh, that is awkward controls. That is so weird. This. Okay, so this is like holding square and pressing in a direction on the control stick will immediately turn in that direction.
Mayu! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Where is this? Mayu? A lost village. I've heard about this place. A long time ago, there was a village here that disappeared during a festival. People who get lost in the woods are trapped by the village. Could this be that place?
Well, I can walk into my sister. I can't talk to her, it seems. Oh, you can see the roofs of houses faintly through the darkness. There don't seem to be any people in the village.
I heard singing before, but there's nobody here.
The statue of the guardian deities appears to be a carving of twins. There seem to be many statues like this one throughout the village. I do really like this fire effect that has that like burst every once in a while. Sacred ropes are strung between the stone pillars. Okay. Beginning to wonder if my sister was coming. There's something on the ground. There are several pieces of paper and a photo inside. A news clipping from a year ago. The headline reads, Geological Surveyor Missing. With the start of construction for All God's Dam approaching, Masumi Makimura, age 26, a geological surveyor dispatched to the area, has gone missing. Mr. Makimura went to the area to investigate the site that would be submerged once the dam was built, but hasn't been heard from for 5 days. It seems like a follow-up to that other news clipping. The search for Masumi Makimura, the surveyor missing since the 4th of this month, came to a close yesterday. Mr. Makimura had been helping to conduct a geological survey for All God's Dam. As of yesterday, he has been missing for 10 days. A photo of a man and a woman are attached to the news clipping. You put the news clipping and photo of the couple in your file. Notes, photos, and maps can be browsed by choosing File from the menu.
Whose is this, I wonder? Who else is here?
Oh, jeez. Oh, hey, that's, there's somebody down there.
I wonder if anyone's here. Mia?
Yeah.
I really like that. That was a good, efficient spoop. Gave me a good little proper chill. I saw that. I see what you're doing, game.
Isn't anybody here?
Should we go inside?
Mayu?
Mayu! What's wrong? I don't want to kill anyone. What was that?
I don't know. I don't know.
right. Well, I'm warmed up for spookins. That was this is really well shot and cut, I guess. And
Don't go too far.
again, the rumble feature is like they really paid special attention to it to like enhance those cuts. What are you looking at here, Maya? Something's got your attention. I see a glowy thing. Woman's Notebook 1. A page torn from a notebook is near the sunken fireplace. I've heard rumors about the Lost Village before. Long ago, a massacre occurred on the day of a ceremony, and the village was wiped from the map. Twin deities statues in the forest lead lost people to the village entrance. Once you pass through the gate, however, you cannot go back. The village eternally relives that... I said relives weird. That night of death. The insane laughter of a woman is said to echo throughout the village. The only survivor of the massacre at the village was a lone woman. You put the piece of a woman's notebook in your file. I regret opening this. Can I shut it? Good. Oh, this game is just too quiet. Was it just this light I was seeing? It looks like an atrium beyond the lattice. You can see a deck beyond the atrium. And a spooky ghost having a walk.
Okay.
Woman's Notebook 4. A torn notebook page that was stuffed into a bedding has fallen out. Someone, anyone, whoever sees this, look for me. I'm trapped in this village. Help me. Miyako Sudo. The sliding door of the closet won't open anymore. Maybe it's warped? That's a very effective camera angle. There's a hanging painting here, but it's so faded you can't even see the color of the flowers. That is really effective. Like, so I mean, Resident Evil always had its doors that like are cutscene, or like they're just little like visual things to hide a quick load, basically. These doors where it like completely changes the camera angle and has that slow open, and then there's like not being able to see much through them. And this camera angle looking slightly upward, showing the second floor, which luckily doesn't have anything up there. The rope supporting the shelf is broken, and the shelf has fallen on the sunken fireplace. That is some ponderous stair climbing. That sure is a door. And this... Okay. That was in fact just a wall.
Mia. Someone's here.
Let's maybe not with that door. Maybe not quite yet. I am having some pretty significant regrets about picking this game. Like, this one actually gets to me real good. Pieces of wood are scattered all around. Like, I don't know, just this is one that's going to get to me because it's just all the elements that really get to me. Oh, that camera angle is the cloth simulation on I don't remember terminology. I saw that moving up at the top of the screen and just like it looked like a moth or like a mouth trying to eat me. Okay, and now we've gone pure silence. Great. Great. Perfect. That's what you want.
I kept searching for you.
Okay, let's go back to the pure silence, please. Alright, follow the ghost or up the stairs. This is fine. Everything's fine. That camera angle is real strong.
It's a bit cold.
It looks like an old coal brush. I was about to say that entirely the wrong way. Brazier. There we go. There's dust inside. It hasn't been used in a long time. The plaster has come loose because of moisture from the outside. Notebook 3. Masumi, it's me, Miyako. I came to look for you. Let's go home together. Together we can make it. Call for me if you find this. I'll be nearby. Miss you.
I wonder if anyone's really here.
Real quick. We're missing page 2. There's some murky water in the wash basin. Oh, that's dark. It is real dark. There was the slightest rumble in walking into Maya, It got me. It got me just a little bit. They are building to something. They're really building to something here. I have regrets. That sudden transition for doors is like both really unsettling and also just so sudden. Oh boy. Come on, sis. I agree, Ghost. Why? Oh, that slow turn. That slow turn in this camera angle. The door is slightly ajar. Turns out there was a door here all along.
Something's strange about this place.
A little bit. There are some old containers on the shelf. Nothing seems useful. There's a flashlight on the table. Great. Seems like the batteries are still good. Someone must have left it in here. Camera Obscura pointers. An old book is under the flashlight. Camera pointers is written on the cover. This camera was made by Dr. Osso to take photographs of beings in the spiritual plane that normally cannot be seen. It can reveal events from the past through the lingering thoughts of individuals. It is also able to photograph spiritual beings that are invisible to the human eye. Taking a photo of an unseen being has an exorcism. That's a rough word to say. Exorcismal effect, but simultaneously creates a sort of link with them. If the camera obscura is used carelessly, these beings may even gain the upper hand on the user. Great. I wonder if I can photograph the site at the heart of this village's forbidden ritual. If Dr. Osso were here, I'm sure he would be excited. Seijiro Makabe. It's much older than the flashlight. Seems like it's originally from this house.
This is too dangerous.
That's...
So, this is the camera obscura. It takes pictures of impossible things. What was that? I can't believe. So it's true. This thing is too dangerous.
The camera obscura.
Mio. What's that? Is someone here?
basic camera operation. The camera obscura is a special camera that allows you to exorcise spirits by taking photographs of them. When you face a direction where a spirit is, the filament at the bottom right of the screen or the top of the viewfinder will glow. Once you've located a spirit, raise the camera with the circle button. When you've found a spirit, center it in the viewfinder screen and press the shutter button, the X button, or the R1 button to take a photo of it. Tutorial files are saved in the scrap file on the menu. Everything is fine. Okay, so real quick, brief aside, bit of horror game design here. We've seen the trend a lot more recently where you have horror games where you can't do anything to monsters. Like your only option is to run. And that comes from the sentiment of, oh, once I get a shotgun, then I don't care. Like, I know I can fight the zombies or whatever. This is giving me the inverse of that. Of now that I have the camera obscura, I know the ghosts can start attacking me. Like, I don't have that, the safety is off. Like, there's a certain point of, oh, I don't have any weapons. I can't be attacked, right? And nope, not anymore. I have the camera. It's time. We're on. Game's on. I hate ghosts. Ghosts really get to me. And so much of that comes from just, everybody knows how to fight zombies. Ghosts are another story. The chest of drawers has been ransacked. What could have happened here? Mortuary tablets and incense burners on the family altar are covered with dust. I mean, they just gave me the tutorial on, hey, ghosts, so ghost imminent. And we've gone back to dead silence again. I do appreciate that the flashlight just works. There's no batteries or anything to worry about for it. It's just flashlight go. Shards of something like a pot lie scattered on the floor. There's something on the floor. Herbal medicine. When used from the item screen, a small amount of strength is recovered. There's some flowers in the alcove. They're withered, but it looks like they were placed there recently. Excuse me. Look, I really don't like ghosts. Ghosts get to me. Ghosts are that thing that, like, I don't know. They feel like, there's always like the fantastical elements of like vampires and zombies and all that stuff, but ghosts, I don't know. There's a reason why ghost stories are always so effective. Maybe it's just having seen The Fog at such a young age that it made a huge impact on me. And just like, I was afraid of fog for like until I was about 16 or so. And yeah, like that movie, that's the one. Ghosts, jeez.
Something is here.
Oh, jeez. Door woman.
It's gone. get out of here.
The presence you were feeling in front of the door is gone now. I appreciate that the UI has now changed to agree with that statement. It said you can capture things from that ordinary people can't see with this camera. Could this be the power of the camera obscura? That sudden shift going through doors, like, it's a micro jump scare type thing, and it works. Oh. It's this door. Great. Camera. Hey, camera. If a film with low inflicts little damage, takes time to load. So we've got 47 of that film, and then film with hardly any exorcismal power, but the film never runs out. Great. Film ammo. Okay, so we have a whole, like, upgrade system about this camera. Like, I remembered that there was something about film in this game. Let's do it. Could there be someone on the other side of the door? There's a padlock engraved with a family crest representing Ginger on the door. Alright. Strange keys. It's getting back into my Resident Evil strengths. Still just a kimono here, right? Okay, we can walk in here. Great. Perfect. Fine. The lantern has a dim glow. The game can be saved here. Thank goodness. Okay, so now we know what a save point looks like. Save game data. The photos data will not be saved. Perfect. Looks like we have 5 slots to choose from. And we get a nice little save groove there. Another little important thing about horror games is just having save points that have like this chill vibe, just to give you like that like, no, you're actually safe, just so you can have like the quiet moment if you need it. This is, you know, I've been watching a lot of Alien recently, just kind of on repeat, watching like the different versions with different commentary tracks, and like they point out that it's like the original film, nothing happens for like 45 minutes because it's all just building up stuff, and between scares, like there's space to breathe, there's space to like process, because if you're just being bombarded, then you shut down. So like having save points as just like a place where you can stop and process and like chill out for a moment, it allows you to like stay in the game and not like get to the point that you're bombarded and like your brain starts kind of shutting things off. Anyway. No, seriously, this game gets to me on like a pretty pretty deep level. So this should be fun. Hey, we found page 2. Sometimes I sense someone passing by the window. He carries a torch and mutters things. He seems to be searching for somebody, but it's not Masumi. In the distance, I can hear some kind of sad ceremonial song being sung. They say that this village vanished on the day of the ceremony, and that day is repeated over and over again. God, those...
I feel like we're being watched by someone.
Amen. Those kimonos are really effective set pieces. There's something in the drawer. Sacred water. When used, strength is fully recovered. Okay. There doesn't seem to be anything in the urn. There are some old kimonos in the chest of drawers. They all look like women's kimonos. Excuse me, sister. These... It's really... They're really good set pieces. These kimonos. Like, they are... They just... It looks like something could be hiding behind them or within them, or they themselves could come to life. That door slamming shut noise, like the door closing noise, keeps getting me. Of just like, oh no, what was that? And it's like, no, it's just a door closed. Okay, we're gonna head back up this way because I feel like I should have been able to get into that courtyard. Sister, you're falling behind. I suppose you do have an old leg injury. And this being a PS2 title, like, it does seem to have, like, shall we say issues? Cool damp winds blowing from the atrium. Was there anything down here? But yeah, being a PS2 title, like we do have some issues with, like, you know, this is kind of why Resident Evil stuck with tank controls for so long, is that they work. Because, like, every time I shift camera angle suddenly like that, my control direction, like right now I'm holding down on the control stick, and now I'm holding down on the control stick. Like, it does that thing where, like, the direction that you're going doesn't change as long as you're holding the same direction. The moment you let go, then you have to readjust. The door is held shut by some kind of powerful force.
Mio, look.
It seems to be held shut by some powerful force. a different place shows in the photo. It looks like a coal brazier somewhere. You put the coal brazier photo in your file. You can view the special photos you've taken from the file in the menu. Okay, so we need something about that coal brazier. Now, the thing that doesn't hold true is when you go through a door. Like, I'm still pressing up to go through this door. And as soon as it closes...
There's someone here.
Oh, geez. Right stick to move. Oh, that is... kind of upsetting. It is a right stick to move, while in first person, and left stick to look around. Oh, that is frustrating. It is entirely the opposite of everything these days. Something shows in the photo. It looks like an injured man.
Don't come near me.
Every time the door gets me. It's open. Oh, there's a lump in it as if there's something inside. There's a lump in the bedding as if there's something inside. I need to stop tapping X when searching things, because it seems to be giving me slightly different information each time I press the button. There's something reflecting. Something is reflecting the light. Herbal medicine, great. Cold wind blows in from the atrium.
Mio, look.
There's something there that wasn't there before. My, isn't this alarming? There's something shining in the closet. The ginger key. A crest with a ginger design is carved on a copper key. really digging this. And also, I hate it. Like, oh, it's that love-hate relationship with horror. This is some good, proper spooks. But, oh no. No. I'm recording myself doing this.
Even though we could finally meet.
No one here but us
Where is he?
ghosts. Padlock with the family crest on the door. Hey, good. It's one of these. You unlock the door with the ginger key. This is fine. This camera angle is fine.
Village.
This camera angle is not fine. What's over here? Where there aren't ghosts. Hopefully. There's some dishes and pots in the cabinets. There isn't anything unusual about them. There's something in the drawer. Oh hey, I am rewarded for my exploration. Old kimonos and ornaments are crammed in the drawer haphazardly. The surface of the folding screen has come loose and is falling off. It was probably a painted scene at one time, but it's hard to tell now. Boxes are piled up in the corner of the hallway. They're shut tight and won't open. There's an old pendulum clock on the wall. It stopped at 1:43 as I turn to check what time it is. Seven, jeez. We jumped a few pages. I must be tired. If I start to relax, I pass out. Even in a crazy place like this, the darkness here is creeping into my dreams. Slaughter, rivers of blood, fallen people, and a woman in a blood-stained kimono, insane laughter, and twin sisters calling out, "Don't kill me." The woman's laugh is seared into my mind. I don't want to sleep anymore. Okay. There's a scroll spread out on the table. It looks as if someone was copying something onto it. It's written in ancient characters. You don't know what it says. Well, let's deal with some ghosts. 8. Masumi found my note. He was in the village. I can see him soon. I can't move. I'll wait here. He'll be back. He'll find the way out. If he comes back. He came. The last part of the memo stops abruptly.
She also became trapped here. She came into this house looking for her boyfriend. And then, where did she go?
This place must be...
Mayu?
Why?
Capturing exercising spirits. Okay. Gloves weren't off yet. You can exercise spirits by taking photographs of them with a camera obscura. The greater the response indicated on the charge gauge in the camera circle and the greater damage you inflict on the spirit. When the charge gauge glows red, that instant is a shutter chance. If you can shoot during this instance, you can inflict heavier damage on the spirit and repel it back farther, blast back. Using this blast back ability will push back an approaching spirit. You must have film to shoot. When shooting in succession, you have to wait for the next shot to load before shooting again. While loading, pressing the shutter button will have no effect. Load time is shown on the top right of the screen. High power film gives more damage and loads quicker. Okay, come on. This is really rude. While I'm reading this page and getting to the end of it, the rumble has gone, like, heartbeat. Oh, I don't like... Okay, fine. Okay. Tutorial files are saved. Yeah. Oh, jeez. That looked like it was glowing red. Oh no, she's behind me. Oh jeez. Oh, heck, too many degrees of heck. Okay, there she is. I don't like this. There you are. Zero shot. I don't know what that means. This rumble is really effective and I hate it. That would have been a good time to shoot, I guess. Heck. I am facing the wrong way. Bad shot, but... Sister. Core shot. Zero shot. I'm getting 600 points for those, so I guess it's good.
Crimson butterfly.
Alright, well, cool. We made it to chapter 2, and also my sister is missing. There's something on the floor. Aragonite? Aragonite? It looks like a glowing blue crystal. That spirit must have dropped it. Once you find the spirit stone radio, you can use radio on the menu to listen to the stones. A spirit orb acquired. Spirit orbs are items used to raise the maximum levels of the camera's basic functions or power up lenses. Use a spirit orb from function upgrades on the camera menu to increase the maximum level of the camera function or power up lens. After adding a spirit orb to one of the camera's basic functions or power up lenses, you can raise its level by using the points you've accumulated through capturing spirits. You can equip or upgrade camera equipment on the camera screen in the menu. Great. Some kind of device is on the table. It looks like a radio. Hey, it's the Spirit Stone radio that we were just told maybe we should get. And I just punched the mic again. Sorry about that. Pointers. It's a little book on the table that seems to be about the radio. Spirit Stone Radio. Through the use of crystals and its circuits, this improved version of a crystal radio is able to tune into voices from the spirit world. If a person wears a crystal for a long time, their thoughts will remain within, creating a special type of crystal, a spirit stone. According to Dr. Osso, the radio can also pick up sounds from the spirit world, indicating feeling and intuitions in a similar manner to the sympathetic phenomenon that occurs between twins. Put it in the file. Put the lime in the coconut. There's some books and stuff. Folklorist. A book about the village was on the old bookshelf. The ceremony master, Mr. Kurosawa, gave me a very warm welcome. The village has no chief. The ceremony master presides over the village. I wonder if this village was founded by people who wanted to preserve their sacred rituals and festivals. Most notable among all gods' folklore is the Gate to Hell legend that has been passed down for years. It is an archetypal tale of a gate or hole that marks the border to the world of the dead, also called Hades, the underworld, or the netherworld. It is a forbidden place that is feared and hated, but is also worshipped as well. The idea of hell has been a core belief of humans since ancient times. This village supports the theory that the belief is universal. The forbidden ritual regarding this gate to hell that takes place here is something no one is allowed to see or speak of. This strict taboo is probably the result of a ceremony concerning the border with hell coming closer to the living world. Villagers lead a simple life. Deep in the mountains, they struggle to forage food for their daily meals. The village has little contact with the outside world. They continue to practice the ways of old, frozen in time. All right. Our sister is missing. Who said there could be ghosts here? That is not the button I wanted. Okay, real quick. Apparently triangle does something in the camera menu. But if I'm going to be taking pictures of random things, let's go back to basic film. Girl in hiding. Looks like there is a mirror underneath this cloth. There's a cloth draped over the mirror. Okay. Old kimono on display. Woman's Notebook 6. How much time has passed since I came here? How long will the night last? I can't take the darkness. It's driving me crazy. I have to get out of here. I have to see Masumi. An old brazier in the corner of the room. More of that brazier. I feel like we're still missing at least a page.
Mayu!
I'm sorry. I have to go. It's calling me.
Apparently, I am playing as Mayu now. I do appreciate the slight difference in her walk cycle.
It is the destiny of the sacrifice. The destiny.
Hi, ghost.
Mayu.
You found some camera equipment and film. Acquired the slow power-up lens. Effect slows down the movement of a spirit. Spirit power required. 1. Upgrade extends duration. Temporarily slows down the movement of a spirit being photographed. To use, press the triangle button when you've charged one or more spirit power points. Default settings. While this effect is active, the spirit will move slower and shutter chances will no longer be shutter chances will be longer, making the spirit easier to capture. This is especially effective against quick spirits or spirits that are difficult to time. Raising the level of this effect extends the duration. You found some camera equipment and film. Measure. Acquired the measure equipped function. Shows spirit HP. When the function is equipped, it shows the remaining HP of the closest spirit in the capture circle in the viewfinder's upper leftmost corner. Let's put that in its place. And also, we're calling it a night. We've been going for a little bit. Oh, okay, there's items all over. I guess I need to go through this entire house again. There's something on the ground. Earl medicine. Great. Oh no. Oh no. I just wanted to save my dudes. Come on. Okay, you're... That's some proper spooks. That's some proper spooks. Oh, the movement. Oh, that movement. I do not like it. I really do not like it. Oh no. Oh no. Come on. I just wanted to save. Thanks, Box Ghost, for the Moonstone. Use the radio to listen to the words held within the stone. And a spirit orb. Great. Perfect. Oh, that is... Oh, that movement. That movement is horrible. That movement is real bad. It gets to me. It's... let's listen to some things, and then I'm saving, and then we're calling it a night.
Where did you go? Without you,
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. This game, it's some good proper spooks. Okay. Well. Oh man. Well, I'm spooked. That radio stuff, like that is. It's all in the voice acting, and it's pretty. It's pretty choice. It's pretty choice, and like also the like old timey radio effects just really add to it. Oh, I'm sure picked a good one to play before I go to bed. Regrets are real. Oh jeez, I just realized how long we've been going. Okay, let's wrap this up. Oh, thank you very much for watching. I've been Bryce. This has been VHS Play, and have yourself a lovely evening.